Welcome back to MotoBlade, guys. We're here at Americade and we are taking out the Zero electric motorcycles. This is the SRS, their newest model. So we're going to turn the key on here. The kickstand is up, bike is turned on, and you're going to hear the purr of the engine when we hit the little starter here. Oh yeah, did you hear that turn on? It's on. The bike is on, and if we give it just the tiniest bit of throttle here, it starts pulling forward just a little bit. On our display here, we've got ambient temperature. It gives us a digital range, battery percentage. We're currently in eco mode. Gives us a motor temperature and our miles per hour. It also shows us how much regenerative braking we're doing. Other than those things, there's not a whole lot else to do here. There's just turn signals, high beams, and modes. Yep.
We got eco mode, awesome.
That's pretty much it for the screen. We can change the modes. We can use turn signals. And we've got a front brake, rear brake. The left side, where I would have a clutch and a shifter, there's nothing there. It feels totally weird not having to do anything with your left hand or left foot. It's weird. Everyone's kind of looking at you like, why is your motorcycle not making any noise? Is it broken? Is it off? No, it's just electric. You can't hear a thing. Alright guys, so we are on the Zero SRS, and any noise you hear is just straight wind noise. This is the purest riding you could do. There is no noise from the engine, there's no shaking, there's no vibration. It's like the bike isn't even on, and yet you know you're moving, but the bike doesn't feel like it's on. It's a very weird feeling. The lack of noise is a little disconcerting at first. So we're currently got traction control turned on, ABS on, we're in eco mode. We'll change that into sport here in a minute. I keep reaching up to grab my clutch and shift down, and I don't have one. And it's very annoying. That was nice of that guy to block traffic for us. And we're off again. So I've got the same criteria for this bike as I do for others. We'll start with comfort. Comfort on this bike, it's a sport bike, so I'm in a sporty riding position, knees tucked back, feet tucked back under my thighs, lean forward a little bit on the handlebar controls, very comfortable. Riding position's great. As far as the seat is concerned, it's your standard sport bike seat. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world, but it's not the most uncomfortable either. I'd say it's probably on the better end of seats that I've tried on sport bikes. It's probably one of the better ones I've ever tried. As far as power, when you put it in sport mode, it will go 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds, I believe is what they stated. It's impressive. Now, the other cool thing about the engine is the regenerative braking. So on a standard bike, when you would let off of the throttle, you would just kind of start feeling the engine do the braking for you. Like in fourth or third gear, you let off the throttle, it starts lugging down slowly, and then you downshift. Well, in this, there is no downshifting. But if you look at the screen down there, and I can't look, but I'll put the camera down there, when I let off the throttle, that little green dot at the bottom, if I'm on the throttle, it's on the right side that says torque. If I let off, it goes to the left side that says regen. So when you let off of the throttle, the engine goes into regenerative engine braking mode, and it acts as a generator, adding to your battery life and your range. That's stage 1 of regenerative braking. Stage 2 is when you get off the throttle and get onto the brake. Because it's direct drive, you're not shifting. Getting on the brake adds additional engine braking or regenerative braking to the motorcycle and gives you stage 2 regeneration into your battery, extending your range. As far as handling is concerned, we haven't really hit too many twisty turns here. We're getting a few. And it feels pretty good. I mean, the handling is lightweight, just small light presses on the handlebars here, and I can feel it you know, want to dive and dip into a turn. So the handling feels good. Hopefully we'll hit some better twisties up here and I'll be able to give you a better idea on the handling. So the power is incredible and it's instant because it's electric. 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. Regenerative braking. The comfort is great. The handling is pretty good from what I can tell here. Here we go, got another turn here. Oh, here's a decent little twisty coming up. That's nice. It handles very well in the turns. And it's a sport bike, so it's not like you have really low pegs that are going to scrape or anything. So the lean angle is, you know, as hard as you can pretty much ride it. You get all the way over to the point you're scraping pegs on a sport bike, you're probably on your ass. As far as features, you've got a nice little windscreen up front that does a decent job. It's not the tallest thing or the greatest thing, but, you know, it's a sport bike's windscreen. Actually, to be honest, I'm not getting much buffeting. We're doing about 50 here, and I'm getting a little bit of wind, but it's just flying right over my helmet nice and smooth. I'm not getting any major buffeting or major wind noise. So the windscreen angle is pretty good. As far as style and looks, it's got a sport bike shape, a sport bike look, and instead of being angular, it seems to be more of a rounded, smooth rounded type fairing. Looks pretty nice. Alright, so letting off the throttle there, you can feel the engine braking slow the bike right on down on its own very nicely. Didn't use any brake there at all going through that turn. I just rolled off the throttle and let the engine do the braking for me, just like I would on my Chieftain or any other normal cruiser bike. Oh, a nice little turn right there. That felt pretty good. Nice handling. Handles very, very nicely. I like it. So Canyon is the same as Sport, it just does better regeneration with the engine braking?
So you'll feel, the biggest difference between Canyon and Sport is when you roll off the throttle. In Canyon mode, you feel what feels like engine braking.
Okay. In Sport, it feels loose.
Exactly. In Sport, it feels like you're just coasting.
Got it. All right, so in theory, we just doubled our torque by going into Canyon mode now. The difference between Canyon mode and Sport mode on here is that in Sport mode, when you roll off the throttle, there's no engine braking. It's just totally loose. It just kind of coasts. In Canyon mode, when you let off the throttle, you get more regenerative engine braking. It extends the range, but you still have the exact same torque and horsepower specs as you do in Sport mode, which are, I will put up on the screen, but I think it was something like 144 torque and 141 horse. There we go. They said the ride back would be a lot more fun. You can definitely feel the difference in the torque when you go to Canyon mode or Sport mode on this thing. There's an immediate throttle difference, major engine response, and it's an instant response. Eco mode felt pretty quick to me, but apparently that was the much more slowed down beginner mode. Wow. So this caps out at 124 miles an hour, and that of course is a digital cap. Their proprietary software, they limit the engine to 124 miles an hour, and if you have a need to go beyond that, I asked them if the limiter could be removed. They said as far as they're aware, there's no reason for you to go beyond that, so no, there is no way for them to remove it, or if there is, they will not be doing so. So 124 is pretty much your governor lock on this electric engine for miles an hour. The only time I hear this bike, I don't hear it when I'm on the accelerator. I do hear it when I let off the accelerator and it goes into the regenerative braking. And I like having that feel of the engine braking. It's a very familiar feel. So I'm just going to take a brief moment here to compare this to the Harley Davidson Livewire, because that's the only other electric motorcycle that I have tried. This compared to the Livewire, I like it because the center of gravity on this is much lower. They purposefully dropped the CG. It weighs about 515 pounds, I believe, is curb weight. Of course, it's not like curb weight without gas or with gas or anything. It's just, that's the weight. Compared to the Harley, it feels lighter. It feels more nimble. It feels more comfortable. The seat and the riding position feel better than the Livewire. And overall, I think it's just a better performing bike. You've got more modes. The windscreen on the front helps with wind. I do like this display better than the Livewire. It's a little bit brighter. I think it's a little easier to read. As far as the range specs on this, I don't know them off the top of my head. I will put them up on the screen for you guys. And I will put the comparable specs for the Harley Livewire up on the screen as well, so you can see the difference in range and battery information. Alright, we're opening it up. We're doing 65 here in a 30, which is awesome. Okay, when we all get on the accelerator at once in canyon mode, you can kind of hear it. It's like a little high-pitched line where all start screaming together. It's like all the bikes are crying. That's pretty much all there is to the bike. There's no exhaust, there's no like chrome pipes or blacked out anything, you know, it's just... That's all you got. Throttle and wind in your face, and it's amazing. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about electric motorcycles and this revolution that's happening. Is it going to catch on? Is it not? Tell me what your thoughts are on this bike. Personally, I love it. It's fun. I don't see the practicality yet with charging and taking long trips, because I can always, you know, pull in somewhere and fill up a bike and be gone in 5 minutes, and that's my complaint with electric cars too. The tech isn't there yet for the battery ranges and the charging that I want to see. But as far as a fun factor bike, it is absolutely amazing. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It's the big red button. Click the bell icon next to it. That'll give you notifications when there are new videos to watch here on MotoBlade. I have tons of videos coming, and that are probably already up by the time you see this on my channel from Americade this week. Lots of test rides, all different manufacturers. Indian, Zero, Triumph, BMW, Honda, all kinds of great stuff and content coming. So stick around for those. Thank you all so much for watching. Till next time, ride safe, ride on. I will catch all of you in the next video.